Thank you so much. My name is Moses Kenneth. I'm going to be taking you through these three articles. So the first article is talking about a grief and protest follow shooting of a teenager. The source is New Times, New York Times, and the date, of course, is August 10th, 2014. The first part is talking about independence versus self-interested. So the author of this article are independent to the news story because in the article they talked about both sides, the police and the victim part. The second part is going to be talking about multiple sources versus one source. There is only one source of the information in this article because this question, the credibility of the article, since the author didn't show other sides of the perspective of the story from the source. And it's going to another part is verifies versus assertive, which is the source verifies the information in the story, since the author quoted information that was of course provided by other people. So the next part is authoritative and informed versus uninformed. This source is authoritative, is authoritative and informed, since the expert quoted in the article have enough knowledge about the story. Some also going to talk about named versus unnamed. The source is named because there is the name of the source, which is New York Times, which gives it a name. And the next part is going to be talking about is asking me about my opinion. And here my opinion is I think this story is credible, since they also tried to write every information that was provided both in the police and sides of the family's victim. So here the next one, they're asking me about my questions that are being left out, like are being unanswered, whereby the first question is what is the name of the police officer that killed Mr. Brown, and the second one is that what is the justice that is going to be done for Mr. Brown. And the last part in this year is asking me if this article is qualifies to be news, and I say yes, because the article is talking about a current event at the time of a young boy being shot by an officer, a police officer. So I'm going to take you through the second article, which is the Apple announces iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, the biggest of those advertisements in the iPhone history. The date is September 9th, 2014. So the first point, of course, I'm going to talk about the independence and versus self-interested, whereby the author of this article is self-interested to the story because it seems like he or she was just advertising the new Apple products. And the second part is about the multiple source versus independent. I mean, the one source. All information in this article come from, of course, one source. So the next part is verifies versus asserts, and the source verifies the information in the story as the author linked to Apple online stores as an evidence that the new products are really available. And the next part is authoritative and informed versus uninformed. And here I say this source is authoritative and informed as the author quoted information, of course, provided by the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, as one who has enough information, of course, about the new products available at Apple. So here talking about named or versus unnamed. Of course, the source is named, of course, the Apple Press Info. Therefore, it can be like considered as a credible. So here I'm going to talk about my own opinion in this part. In my own opinion, I think this story is credible since the author has, of course, provided evidence in the article about the availability of the new Apple iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. For instance, hyperlinking the Apple line on store, the online store. Sorry. So here, the two questions that I'm left with is the price of for iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus the same as for international customers? Another question is that is there any shipping services for the products? Yeah, those are the two questions I have. And the last point is this article, of course, qualifies to be news. I say yes, this article qualifies to be as news because it's talking about the current event about how Apple has released its new products, which is actually big news. Yeah, so I'm also going to take you through about the third article, which is exclusive concern that terrorist teams have selected targets, of course, ready to strike. The source is ABC News, and the date is October 2nd, 2010. So the first part, of course, independence versus self-interest. The author of this article are independent because there is no direct benefit from this story, of course, being told. The second is, of course, talking about sources versus one source. All information came from one source in this article, even though there was authors tried to mention what other sources said about the story, but they didn't specify. The names of the sources. Another part is talking about verifies versus asserts, which by this source asserts the information in the story, since there is no any evidence that is being proven if there was being said or is true. So I say it's assertive, of course. Then another point is authoritative and informed versus uninformed. And so in this article, the source is uninformed because there is no sign of expertise or knowledge about the topic of the story, and of course the story is all built on opinions from the authors. So the next point is like named versus unnamed. Of course, this source is named. This is ABC News, and my own opinion here is, in my own opinion, I think that the story is credible, since the author didn't include any evidence that proves what they say what they were talking about. That is, proving it. So my questions that are being left out is like, what plans does the government of course the target countries have regarding the attack that is being planned? So another thing is that the last one, of course, is asking me if this article confers to be news. I say yes, it confers to be news because the article is because it is talking about the current situation in the United States of America and in the same European countries at that time, which qualifies it to be news. So that was my analysis through these 3 articles, and hope it is of beneficial to you. Thank you so much.